BB's up with many questions as usual. What's up, BB? He says, hey guys, what is better, to start a GMB and then start a Gsite slash website, or backwards, a site and then a GMB, or parallelly, that's a hard word to say, or start search ads and then organic viewing? Okay, well, there's a couple of things here, BB. If you don't know the industry, then I would highly recommend that you start with ads, the keywords that drive traffic and conversions. It's not just about traffic, because you might, I made the mistake years ago. I just didn't do ads for a very, very long time at all. And I would always just start with SEO, and in part because it was really easy to rank, but it's become more complex and more difficult. There's no question. And so if I'm going into it, which I don't like to go into any new industries now, I like to just stick with what I know. But if I was to go into a new industry, then what I would do is set up a Google Ads campaign first to figure out which keywords are going to produce not just traffic and clicks, but conversions, right? That's the optimum goal, is conversions. So if you just look at keyword tools and look at search volume, that doesn't tell you the whole picture, right? That only gives you part of the story. Am I still live, guys? I see the page doing some weird stuff.
I think you're good. Let me check the page.
Okay. It was doing some refreshing or some weird shit. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, if you go just look at search volume and stuff and think that you're going to optimize for keywords based upon search metrics, right? Search numbers, search volume numbers, then you could end up spending time, money, and effort creating content and trying to rank for keywords that might produce a lot of traffic, but they just don't convert, or they don't have buyer intent or whatever. And so what I like to do is spend money up front, which, by the way, when you first start running ad campaigns, even if it's not like Google search ads, you're going to spend a lot of money depending on what it is. But for local stuff, I mean, clicks can be super expensive. But even YouTube and things like that, like the way I look at it is, any new ad campaign for Google Ads specifically, it's like the first 30 days, you should really just assume that you're just buying data, right? Like it's rare that I start a new ads campaign in a new industry that I've not ever done any testing in and get immediate results, like positive ROI, right? Like it's very rare. It's usually I'm going to lose money up front, but once I have enough data, then I can start to optimize where I see the most opportunity, stop spending money on ads or keywords or creatives or whatever that aren't really relevant or aren't producing, redirect those funds into what was producing, and then start optimizing those producing campaigns to optimize them even more so that they perform even better. And so I just look at using ads up front when it's a new industry. If it's a new topic, new industry, whatever, I look at, okay, I'm going to spend money on buying data first. Once I have that data, then I'm going to start to optimize my campaigns to put that budget to good use, to start turning a profit, right? Or making a return on investment. And then from there, I continue to optimize. So my first strategy would be, if I don't know an industry, I'd start with Google Ads to figure out what those keywords are, the ones that are going to produce traffic, but also convert. And then I would start optimizing content for that, right? So start the SEO process, which would be building the, getting content written, optimizing for that, and all the other stuff that we do. If I already know the industry, then, I still use ads usually to jumpstart a campaign, but I'll go right for the keywords and everything that I already know to be effective and to be what people use. And what I love about the tree service industry is there's really only 5 keywords that drive all the, 90% of all traffic is driven from 5 keywords. So it's beautiful because I can optimize for those 5. I don't need to continually do keyword research and all that other shit, As far as whether I would do GMB first or website build first, it doesn't matter. I mean, I like to go with well, it depends, right? Again, it depends. Always, it depends. If you have a real business that can be verified, it's not a spammed GMB listing, then there's no reason that you can't start with the GMB or just do both in parallel, right? The GMB as well as the website and everything else. If you're dealing with a spammed GMB listing, then I recommend that you get the website set up first with the brand name, the domain that's going to be associated with the GMB. You get structure, you get as much detail on the page as possible. Like, you don't have to have a full-on built-out website, but I mean the home page on the root domain for that project should have something that's relevant. It should have the company name, the contact information that's going to be used with the GMB. So name, address, phone number, structured data at the very minimum, organization schema. If you're going to do it, if it's for local business, which GMBs are supposed to be for local business, then put local business schema on the page, and then go try to claim and verify the GMB, right? Or to associate the GMB with the website, if that makes sense. So it depends. If it's a valid business, then it doesn't mean you can start with the GMB or run both parallel. That's typically how I will do it. But if it's a spam GMB, then I try to get the web asset set up first before trying to associate the GMB with it or get the GMB if I'm starting from scratch, so that it has a reference point that Google can see that has some validity to it, right? So for example, not just have the domain, but I just kind of figured out a trick earlier this week. Well, let's just say have the domain registered. You might want to use something like Gsite or Google Workspaces for your email for that domain, because that means you're paying Google for that domain, right? Like now you have a paid account with Google that is associated with that domain, so that when you try to tie the GMB to that domain, there is some validation there that it's not spam because you've got a paid account. Remember, Google Workspaces, guys, if you go with a basic Workspace account, formerly G Suite, it's $6 a month. So don't be cheap. Spend $6 a month and have that additional verification or validation for that. Less likely to be spam, if that makes sense. Okay. It's a good question, though.